Good morning, good day, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second day of celebrations of the International Medical Physics Week as organized by the International Organization of Medical Physics. I am very pleased that tonight we are hosting Middle Eastern Federation of Organization of Medical Physics, and we have three wonderful speakers who will share their experiences in Middle East. Each of them will have about 15 minutes presentations that will be followed by question and answers. Can I please ask you to type your questions and answers as per usual into the Q&A tab of the Zoom platform, and I will moderate the discussion. Without much ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker, which is Dr. Mashari Alnuaimi, who has made significant contributions in the field of medical physics and radiation protection in medicine in the Middle Eastern region. He has established the first dedicated medical physics unit in Kuwait and currently serves as the head of radiation physics department and head of nuclear medicine physics at the Kuwait Cancer Control Center. He is also actively involved with the International Atomic Energy Agency and works on the projects that promote radiation safety culture. Dr. Mashari, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction and the kind invitation. I will talk about medical physics in the Middle East region. I believe that our region is a dynamic region that has tremendous resources and a lot of young people, which means a lot of energy. Problem, however, is that our region faces many challenges of underdevelopment, challenges of extremism, challenges of ongoing conflict over the past few years, reflected on the delivery of efficient patient care. So I would like to offer some notes about the current status of medical physics and future directions. So MIFOM is a regional organization of the IOMP, founded in 2009, with the primary objective of advancing the field of medical physics within the Middle East region. MIFOM includes 12 member countries, and the region have approximately 1,200 medical physicists. So this table shows the profile of medical physics in the Middle East, 12 countries, and the number of medical physicists. As you can see from the slide that most of the medical physicists are from Saudi Arabia, 60%, followed by 9% in Iraq, 7% in Jordan. So to talk about the situation in the Middle East, we have to mention the ongoing conflicts that is facing the region. These conflicts and the ongoing challenges are making it difficult for these countries to have enough human resources and technical capabilities to enable them to provide efficient patient care. According to the Global Cancer Observatory, cancer incidence rates will almost double by 2030. And the demand for radiation therapy is expected to increase by 19% over the next decade. So healthcare providers, including clinically qualified medical physicists, will be very essential in providing and ensuring the delivery of comprehensive and effective patient care. So in the following slides, I will give you some information about medical physics in the Middle East, in MIFOM countries. Updates published in Medical Physics International Journal in June 2021 with information about the status of medical physics in MIFOM countries, focusing on equipment availability, human resources, education, and training programs. So this article published by Dr. Hassan Kharita also described the current status, and it shows that there's a wide difference in education, the availability of equipment and healthcare facilities, and human resources among MIFOM countries. So the availability of diagnostic treatment and treatment modalities and adequate staffing highlights challenges in cancer care delivery across the region. So the main goal of providing this information is to provide data that will inform policy and decision makers in the region about the current status of the field and how to move it forward. This table shows the number of equipment available in the region for radiation therapy, diagnostic radiology, and nuclear medicine, and the number of units per million population. So as you can see from the table, that the availability of the modalities was influenced by the ongoing instability and conflicts in the region in some MEFAM countries that reflect on access to modern cancer care. Some countries having fewer radiation, for example, radiation therapy machines than the ideal, the required number of machine, like Yemen, if you can see, only 2 radiation therapy machines serving a population of 30 million. So this will affect the cancer care or the patient care in this region, because it is recommended by the WHO that for suitable machine throughput, the number of radiation therapy units should be at least 3 machines per million population. And same for CT scanners. The number of machines should be 23 per million population. If you see from the table that the number of available equipment for radiation therapy and CT imaging is low. For nuclear medicine, the number is acceptable compared to the number of recommended machines. But if you look for some countries, because of the ongoing conflict and crisis, the number of machines is very the number of machines per unit of unit million population is very small, affecting the service. And this is mainly because many nuclear medicine systems departments are out of service due to inability to import radioactive materials. This table shows the human resources, the number of medical physicists in different countries in MEFAM, and the number of male and female medical physicists. And this is the number of medical physicists per million population. On average, the MEFAM countries have about 8 medical physicists per million population, which is acceptable compared to the average number in the world, which is 2.7 million per million population. But it is very important to increase the number of medical physicists to meet the increasing demand of cancer therapy and for healthcare in the region. Like for example, in the developed countries in North America and Europe, the average number is 15 to 20 medical physicists per million population. And if you can look for the table, also some countries, especially countries suffering from the instability like Yemen, Syria, Palestine, the number is very small compared to the average number of required medical physicists. So differences between current and the ideal staffing level may impact the quality and safety of radiation therapy and also diagnostic imaging. The pie chart shows the major specialties for medical physicists in the region. More than 50% of medical physicists are working in radiation therapy, 26% in academia, and also in regulatory authorities. Few medical physicists, only 7% works in diagnostic radiology, 13% in nuclear medicine. So education and training, according to the definition of the IA basic safety standards, a medical physicist working in a clinical environment is a health professional with specialist education and training medical physicist and competent to practice independently in one or more of the sub specialties of medical physics. And however, in many MEFAM countries, there are no official medical physics education and training programs. So students often have to travel abroad to study medical physics. The lack of official medical physics training programs can lead to a shortage of clinically qualified medical physicists, which have serious consequences for patient care. Dr. Hassan will talk in more details about education and training in his talk. MIFOM efforts to empower the profession. The formation of MIFOM is an effective channel to facilitate education, training, and research in MIFOM countries. We aim to advance medical physics profession in the region based on 4 main pillars: increasing awareness to enhance recognition and visibility of the profession in the region, promote for excellence, promoting the highest quality of medical physics services to enhance patient care, also to support professional development, dedication to developing and offering continuous education opportunities like conferences, workshops, and webinars to support professional growth, and also to support partnership with national, regional, and international organizations or medical physics societies. So MIFOM is committed to provide opportunities for continuous education and training programs, and to provide resources and learning opportunities like the MIFOM Medical Physics Conference, which is organized every 2 years, and also MIFOM Academy platform, which is an e-learning platform that provide educational and training materials for medical physicists in the region and also globally. Also, we'll start a monthly webinar series starting from next week. So there will be a monthly webinars for medical physicists in the region, covering the topics that is needed in this area that can help medical physicists to increase their competency and information, also to exchange information. Also, MIFOM organized and planning to organize many workshops in different specialties in medical physics to disseminate hands-on training and to improve the knowledge of the participant for this workshop based on the current international guidelines and protocols. To increase awareness, also we are trying to increase the effective communication by exchanging ideas, knowledge, and information related to the field in a simple and clear way, and using the social media platforms and the podcast, especially for the young generation. It's a very effective way to increase the awareness of the profession, and also to shed light on different roles and responsibilities that medical physicists are doing in the hospitals and also in different specialty of medical physics. Medical physicists are recognized with also awards to recognize their contributions and to promoting the highest quality of medical physics service. MIFOM also offer an annual award for the young scientists to recognize their significant contribution and to recognize young medical physicists. Also, outreach and engagement award to recognize achievements that increase public understanding of medical physics profession in the region. Also, recently we announced or we offered an award for student, which is named after the past president, Dr. Alnuaimi, to recognize best student research in the field of medical physics. This is awarded every 2 years during MIFOM conference. Also, partnership to promote for cooperation and partnership among medical physics societies and other health societies in the region and globally. Future directions and opportunities to advance the field of medical physics. We have to talk about the main challenges facing the field of medical physics and medical physicists in the Middle East region. Three main challenges are the limited access to healthcare and also limited availability of equipment, then the shortage of clinically qualified medical physicists, and the insufficient education and training. Limited resources like limited availability or low availability of therapy or imaging facilities, inadequate financial resources in some countries, shortage of clinically qualified medical physicists, in some countries, lack of recognition of medical physics as a distinct profession, lack of incentives, medical physicists migration to work abroad. So these are the challenges for shortage of medical physics. Also, insufficient training, no academic and educational programs for medical physics, no clinical residency training, and no certification systems. So these are the main challenges that we need to face and we need to overcome to improve the status of medical physicists in the region. These factors limit the attractiveness of this profession as a prospective career and choice for incoming workers, and can lead to suboptimal utilization of medical imaging and radiation treatment technologies, and potentially result in inaccurate diagnosis and treatment. Future directions and opportunities. We aim to increase the medical physics educational training and residency program. Dr. Hassan will talk in more details in his presentation next. And then promote collaboration between regional institutions for knowledge and skills transfer. Empower local capacities and attract and retain young people in the field of medical physics, and to improve recognition, professional development, and working conditions of medical physicists. In conclusion, we are committed to promote for professional development medical physicists, and to also promote for partnerships with regional and international organizations, and to increase awareness by effective communication, and to ensure sustainability of support, preserve and enhance support for medical physicists. So addressing the factors and challenges, along with strengthening the cooperation with international and regional organization, would enable further growth of medical physics profession in the Middle East. And we are committed, as I mentioned, to providing continuous support for medical physicists in the region to ensure effective patient care and safe and of high quality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mashari. As you suggested, our next speaker will then continue in the theme and show how the capacity will be built up in the imaging and nuclear medicine space. And it is my pleasure to introduce our second speaker, Dr. Mohammad Hassan Kharita, Assistant Executive Director of OHS Medical Physics Section in Hamad Medical Corporation in Qatar, where he oversees all medical physics aspects in diagnostic radiology and nuclear medicine, in addition to radiation safety issues at all 15 HMC hospitals. Dr. Kharita was also radiation safety consultant for the IAEA and the Director of Research in the Atomic Energy Commission of Syria. He was also president of the vice president of the Qatar Medical Physics Society and vice president of MIFONT. Dr. Hassan, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Eva. Thanks very much, Magdalena, as well. Hello, everybody, and thanks for everyone for attending this webinar. Thanks for Dr. Mashari for really introducing my talk, because all the information he's covering just makes it easier for me to present diagnostic imaging and nuclear medicine education and training in the Middle East and the strategy for success. He mentioned a lot of things which I will reiterate, but the conceptual issue is really managing resources and trying to get collaborative work with other institutions who are active in the area. So my presentation will be as in my capacity as Vice President of MIFOMB, and it will focus on, as I said, education and training in diagnostic and nuclear medicine. And I would like to recap just to summarize what already mentioned by Dr. Mashari. So we have challenges in education and training, certification of medical physicists. The first challenge in the clinical training. So we don't have a structured program for clinical training in most of the country. And at best, most of the country are doing the clinical training as part of the on-the-job training. So there's no structured program in all the countries to clinically train medical physicists. And as you can see, we have on average, as Dr. Mashari mentioned, 8 medical physicists per million inhabitants. This is a healthy figure. But if you look at the 7% only are diagnostic radiology medical physicists and 13% only as a nuclear medicine medical physicist. So we have a very low number to start with. So there is a real need. So the first challenge is the clinical training. In addition to the academic programs, so we have limited number of as well of BSc in physics, providing medical physics education, 6 PSc in 3 countries, and 9 MScs in 6 countries in the Middle East out of the 12. Okay, I mean, this could be, if there is a real collaboration and real investment from all the country, this could be sufficient to train enough medical physicists to fulfill all the resources, but it's not really, it's not really the case yet. We have as well challenge on the national regulation and requirement and for requirement and qualification on medical physics professionals. So we have limited, some countries have some national regulation, but the rest is need to be addressed. So actually a recognition of medical physics is really important, not just by the health authority, as well as the regulatory authority, radiation protection regulatory authority. The final point is we don't have national or regional bodies for certification of medical physicists. So there's no regulation for medical physics job. In the recent years, since 2019, we had some collaboration between MIFOMB and some country in MIFOMB and the International Medical Physics Certification Board. And we did few training. I'll just mention in Saudi Arabia in 2019, we had 1 examination. Sorry, not training, I meant examination. So to certify medical physicists. So we have part 1 and part 2. We had it in Jordan as well, 2019 in part 1 and part 2. Examination as well, part 1, part 2, and part 3 in October the same year, 2019. And later on Saudi Arabia in 2020. And after that, our physicists start doing it online, like most other physicists in the world. But it was good initiative to bring the examination to the region, to encourage people to do the exams. And as a conclusion, some countries now started to accept the International Medical Physics Certification Board as recognition, as a recognized certification in the area. And some of them have put it included in the job description for medical physicists. So this is really one way forward for certification, but we still have the real challenges, as some of them mentioned by Dr. Mashari. So the first one is to have accreditation system for postgraduate education courses, for clinical training and for other training activity in the MIFOMB countries. So this is really, we don't have accreditation system or accreditation body. And MIFOMB is trying to support this issue and probably be one of these accreditation body to accredit courses and especially postgraduate master courses in medical physics. The second challenge is the certification program for individual. As I said, individual certification is not available. And MIFOM hoping with the help of the International Medical Physics Certification Board and the IEA, because we have some, I'll mention it later, and the IEA because we have some regional projects with the IEA, which covers the whole area, especially in diagnostic radiology and nuclear medicine. So hopefully one part of this project, technical cooperation project, will be focusing on certification in collaboration with MIFOM. The third point is the acceptance of future MIFOM granted accreditation and certification by regulatory body within MIFOM country. And of course, mutual recognition will be really important as well for people to move between countries and to be able to fulfill, if there is surplus of medical physicists to one country, to be able to cover some gaps in other countries. So I'll look here at the alternative resources, and I'll focus on the first point, which is IEA Regional Technical Cooperation Project. So we have a new project starting to 2024. It's improving quality and safety through strengthening diagnostic and interventional radiology medical physics in Arasia country, which is the Arab countries in Asia. And under this project, which aims to building competence and capacity, human capacity in diagnostic radiology medical physics, in addition to calibration as well, which is I didn't mention here, focusing on radiation dose measurement and quality control of equipment. So we are hoping under this project, because most of the diagnostic radiology medical physicists in the region are representing their country in this project as well. So it's as well the same group in a way, working under MIFOM, they are working under as well this project. So we're hoping to establish structured clinical training for medical physics in various countries. We are hoping to help setting criteria for certification of medical physicists, encourage mutual recognition in the member state in various countries. And this is all hopefully under the collaboration between the, let's say, this project and MIFOM, under the with the support and help of MIFOM. And finally, we would like to have to conduct some regional workshop to train auditor in Quadrille, because now Quadrille is needed. Quadrille is like a quality audit for diagnostic and interventional radiology. And this is tool for quality improvement, and it's needed now. It's been done already in Jordan recently, and it's undergoing in Syria, in Qatar now. There is a request, and hopefully early 2025 we'll have a Quadrille. So we have a need in the region. So one of the bullets here in this project is to train some auditor in Quadrille, hopefully to be able to fulfill all Quadrille mission needed for these countries in under MIFOM. We have some other projects as well, which is a renewed project. It was running in the previous cycle for 22 and 23, and it's continued in 24-25. One is strengthening medical physics education and training in accordance with the international guideline. And this is a really good project. It's regional project, not just Arasia, for all Asia and the Pacific. And we learned a lot from this project, and we work together with other countries, and hopefully we'll continue under this second cycle. As well, we have as well sustainable education and training infrastructure in building competence in radiation protection. In this project, we have a lot of aspects, but one of the good aspects we would like to copy from this project is train the trainer. And the train the trainer workshop, it's already proven to be very successful in radiation protection. And we are in good now in collaboration and discussion with the IEA to have this train the trainer in medical physics to really have this multiplication effect by training the trainer in medical physics. So to copy from this regional project as well, which is available for everyone. As well, other IEA regional projects in nuclear medicine. So we have one project under which we already did some training courses in quality control and quality assurance for SPECT CT imaging in Arasia. as well. This is in the last year, and then regional training course in theranostics for non-communicable diseases management. So we are trying to use resources available with IEA to do some training courses and hopefully to support this training by MIFOM or replicate sometimes. As well, this new project, we are hoping to do something, in collaboration with MIFOM to strengthen the application of hybrid imaging and theranostic techniques for the effective management of patients with communicable and non-communicable diseases. So this is another ARASIA project for this cycle. As well, we tried, MIFOM tried to support other countries, like we have IEA coordinated research projects, CRBs, for example, one in diagnostic radiology, medical physics, about implementing remote and automated quality control program for radiography and mammography. And this, one of the countries already part to this project, which from 2021 to 2025 is Qatar. And MIFOM supported other countries like Oman and Saudi Arabia to be part of this project, and hopefully to increase this number as well, not just Saudi Arabia and this is increasing awareness, increasing strengthening infrastructure in the different countries and giving them the tools like this fantastic tool by offered by the IEA. As well, we tried to use the as mentioned by Mashari as well. We try to use the international conferences conducted by MIFOM, like the last one. We conducted 3 parallel training courses on advanced quality control and performance measurement in BET and SPECT, best practice and innovation. This is one in nuclear medicine. As well, we did another satellite workshop in collaboration with Massachusetts General Hospital, Boston, USA, in clinical indication-driven CT protocols, basic and advanced choices. And as well, in collaboration with HMC, we did MRI safety workshop. So this workshop, we are trying to really train people by using the auspices of the medical physics conferences, which we do every 2 years. Hopefully in the next conference, which is expected to be in 2025, we will have some other training courses, especially like one, hopefully we are working in collaboration with John Damilakis about conducting training course on AI implementation in dosimetry in various aspects in medical physics. So this is, trying to use possibility and chances to increase education and training possibility. As well, MIFOM medical physics conferences, we had in collaboration with Qatar, HMC, MIFOM, Qatar, HMC, and some GCC country. We had the first nuclear medicine conference in Qatar and the 9th in the nuclear medicine conference in the GCC country in 2022. As well, we had parallel session dedicated for medical physics and in nuclear medicine, including radiation safety, quality control of nuclear medicine and PET CT machines. That's in 2023, and previously in 2022 as well, we had some dedicated session on nuclear medicine. I hope I'm not taking more than my time. And nuclear medicine as well, PET CT, in addition to production of radiopharmaceutical production and quality control for this radiopharmaceutical. So this is chances to increase. It was already mentioned, we have already planned starting this year a monthly webinar focusing to provide platform for leading medical physicists, physics professionals to share experience and expertise and insight in the recent advances in the field. And we expect a diverse audience comprising of students and established professionals in the field. Finally, I could say that we as well, are coordinating research work on establishing diagnostic reference level in the region of Middle East and North Africa. And this collaboration was as well done with Massachusetts General Hospital, and MIFOM is leading in this pilot study. the first step in this pilot study to establish, of course, focusing on justification optimization in CT, and hopefully to establish diagnostic reference level for pediatric at the first phase and the second phase for adult patient. Of course, this is a research project, but at the same time, it's the first webinar we did for this project. We had about 140 to 150 participants from different countries in North Africa and the Middle East, which shows you how important, to team up in such a regional research to increase, awareness, strengthen, infrastructure in these countries. So thank you very much. I hope I didn't take too much of other people's time.
Timing was perfect.
Thanks,
thank you, Dr. Kharita. The projects and ambitions of MIFOMP are really inspiring, and I wish you all the good luck in achieving your objectives. So after we had the opportunity to listen to the MIFOMP president, Dr. Mashari, to MIFOMP vice president, Dr. Kharita, I would like to welcome now MIFOMP's treasurer, Dr. Rabih Hammoud, to talk to us about the building capacity in radiation oncology, because Dr. Kharita was primarily concentrating on nuclear medicine and imaging. Dr. Hammoud presently holds a position as Chief Medical Physicist at the National Center for Cancer Care and Research, Hamad Medical Corporation, and an Assistant Professor of Medical Physics, Research in Radiation Oncology at Weill Cornell Medicine, Qatar. He is also an American board-certified medical physicist. He is active member of several medical physics societies locally and internationally, including ASTRO, AAPM, and ISTRO, and as I mentioned, an elected treasurer of the Middle Eastern Federation of Medical Physics. Dr. Hammoud, the floor is yours.
Eva, thank you so much for the introduction. That's nice words. I would like to thank IOMP for the opportunity to be present today with everyone here. I would like to thank also the president of MIFOMP, Dr. Mashari, VP, Dr. Hassan, for their presentation. Actually, they're going to make my job easier. However, I'm going to be focusing on the radiation oncology section of the medical physics and what's going on in the region, in the MIFOMP regions when it comes to the medical physics support. So first, I would like to disclose that I have no potential conflict.
May I? I think we are seeing the wrong screen.
Sorry?
We are seeing the wrong screen.
Oh, oops. Okay, let me stop. Okay. Let me...
Let's try again. Perfect.
Okay. Is this better? Thank you, Eva. Thank you. All right. So first, so I have no potential conflict of interest to disclose for my talk. As presented in the previous talks by Dr. Mashari and Dr. Hassan, MIFOMP represent 12 countries. Our goal is to enhance medical physics practice within the region. I will be focusing on the radiation oncology section of the medical physics, and this is the plot from DIRAC, the Directory of Radiation Oncology Centers, that is extracted from the International Atomic Energy Agency, where it shows the RT centers, within the 20 countries, and this is based on the registry. So if there are some countries that they did not register their centers, they will not be here. And this is the latest DIRAC, and it shows the distribution of the RT centers among the member states within the MIFOMP. If we look at the RT machines, based on the data that I presented, and also I think Dr. Mashari presented earlier, we're looking for about 154 units among external beam units within the MIFOM countries and 22 brachytherapy systems, as I said, and this is all based on the Dirac data. If we look more in depth, this is about 1.3 units per million, and actually what Dr. Mashari also shows from WHO, the recommendation is about 3 units per million. And this means that there are some countries that they are under infrastructure. So there are some countries where they don't have enough RT units. And this is, if we look close, we can see Yemen is really dramatically under infrastructure versus some countries such as Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar. I think they're doing well when it comes to infrastructure. What about the number of medical physicists? And this is per million, and this is across all disciplines. This is not just RT. So we're looking about average of 8 medical physicists per million population. As Dr. Mashari stated, that the recommendation in the developed countries is from 15 to 20. So versus in these developing countries, it's 1 to 5. So we're doing okay, and especially we're doing well in some countries, and this is due to the more than one factor. So medical physics, the role of medical physics and the MIFOM is to enhance medical physics practice. So this is our role as this organization. How can we do that? Infrastructure. Are we able to support an infrastructure? Actually, this is, I would say it's out of our scope. However, as organization, we're supporting some of the countries in the selection criteria for their technology. And this is, we're doing some exercise in supporting some of the societies and some of the centers in selecting the best of the infrastructure that will benefit the purpose that they're looking for. Your formal education, masters, bachelors, masters, and PhDs, and this has been presented by both Dr. Mashari and Dr. Hassan Kharita about the available programs within the regions. But however, we're looking more for an accredited programs that will support medical physics in a very well-defined, more accredited platform. There are some potential candidates actually, and we're working with IEA on that. Hopefully soon you will hear about some potential candidates in this term. What about training? Training conferences. This will include conference, webinars, workshops. I think MIFOM is doing a good job, and this is one of the main pillars that we're focusing on training. And I will share more details with the RT side. Residency program. At the moment, we're trying to work on some residency program within the region. Hopefully soon also a program will be developed in medical physics within one of the member states. In addition to the certifications, at the moment, we are promoting, supporting, and recognizing the International Medical Physics Certification Board, the IMPCB. And as Dr. Hassan mentioned, actually some countries already included the IMPCB in their job description. One of the examples is Qatar. So Qatar now, we are recognizing IMPCB as one body for certifications. So any physicist who already received the IMPCB can apply for the physics post here in Qatar for radiation oncology. What are we doing when it comes to the conferences? Every 2 years, we're holding these conferences, and will cover all radiation medicine, radiotherapy, diagnostic, and nuclear medicine. We're inviting international speakers. Also, we're inviting our regional and local speakers because we believe we have strong physicists within the region, in addition to the student presentations. So we're promoting our students to present their work either clinically or on the research side. We're binding with our business partners, industry, and vendors, and this is for both purposes, funding our projects and also sharing their latest technology. So in 2021, we had the virtual conference. It was a big success story for us. More than 1,000 attended this event. We invited speakers from all across the globe, and it was a great success for us. In 2023, we decided to move to a physical conference. So we hold the conference in Muscat, Oman, with 2 two sections. We started with a pre-conference workshops, as Dr. Hassan presented. We had one in radiation oncology, one workshop in radiation oncology focusing on treatment planning. So we work with very medical system in the States to host this workshop, and it was a great opportunity for physicists to have hands-on activity when it comes to treatment planning on challenging cases. We had more than 300 attendees, and we had parallel sessions in all different radiation medicine disciplines. When it comes to workshops, we run and endorsed workshops when it comes to MIFOMP in radiation therapy, diagnostic, and nuclear medicine. We try to host these workshops in multi-countries within the MIFOMP region. So we don't focus on specific country in order to invite more local physicists to these workshops. This is an example of some of the workshops that we had in Kuwait and also in Qatar and others in the diagnostic side. What about other activities? Well, we're endorsing other activities within the region when it comes to some of the societies within the regions, and we try to support by providing educational speakers from the MIFOMP that they will present during this activities. We try to support students to attend meeting and workshops. So we funded some students to attend regional and also international meetings. We also support students for fellowship. So for example, Qatar received students from Lebanon, from the MIFOMP, and also from Pakistan to do their master's and PhD thesis. We support to receive certification through the International Medical Physics Certification Board, as Dr. Hassan Kharita mentioned. So we try to have the exam here in the region, examples Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. And this will put the physicists at ease. So the local and the regional physicists, they will feel that they are at home, and also it will minimize cost for them. So actually at the moment the exam is held virtually. It's not anymore physically, but at that time it was a big plus for our physicists. Resource education platform, as Dr. Mashari mentioned, the MIFOMP Academy is a good resource for presentations, webinars, and talks, and will be all within this resource platform, which will be a good plus for our physicists. In addition to the research and the education awards, which were announced by MIFOMP, the Young Scientist Award, the Outreach and the Engagement Award, and finally Dr. Huda Alnuaimi Award. If I would take one sample from the MIFOMP countries and show you what kind of activities we're doing for the region, since I'm working in Qatar, I would present Qatar. So Qatar, there is only one cancer center within the state of Qatar. It's called the National Center for Cancer Care and Research. It's the premier cancer center within the state of Qatar, and it provides variety of services for our cancer patients. Advanced technology when it comes to imaging and radiotherapy. We treat about 2,300 new cancer cases annually, out of which 1,000 are treated with radiotherapy. Wide spectrum of technology when it comes to simulation, treatment planning, and delivery systems, AI-based, advanced techniques, adaptive radiotherapy, service-guided, and others. And when it comes to the manpower and resources, we are a very diverse team. So we try to create a very diverse team. We have about 10 radiation oncologists, 15 radiation therapists, 14 medical physicists. I think one of the biggest medical physics group within the region, in addition to King Faisal in Riyadh and King Hussein in Jordan. We have imaging scientists that they are focusing on research, in addition to the treatment planning team. Qualifications, a lot of our physicists are American board certified, either also Europe and Australia, and also we just recognized the International Medical Physics Certification Board. We're affiliated with institutions such as Cornell here in Qatar. So this means that we are really, since we have a strong team, we're involved a lot in education. So we're hosting workshops, courses that will benefit the region, which have an impact on the medical physics community. We collaborate with the radiotherapy instrumentation vendors. So we try to host workshops under the umbrella of PTW, Varian, GE, and others. We're supporting the radiation oncology residency program, and also we are receiving students for observership. There is a big community awareness when it comes to medical physics, and this is done via presentation and lectures to university students such as Cornell. Also during the Medical Physics Day, we'll do a big awareness about the profession of medical physics. Also, we're active in research, so we're supporting the medical physics community when it comes to research. We've been involved in many student theses, and research projects are focusing on AI, and we are collaborating with local and international institutions. What about collaboration? Other initiatives? Well, this is initiatives with IEA. So we're hosting a lot of courses under the umbrella of IEA, as Dr. Hassan mentioned. And I have to state that now they are collaborating centered within the regions. So these are 2 centers designated as regional resource centers for Arab Asia: American University of Beirut in Lebanon and Kuwait Cancer Center in Kuwait. One center in the region that have been designated as IAA collaborative centers in the field of nuclear medicine is King Hussein Cancer Center in Jordan. Other initiatives and regional recognitions of some centers in the regions is the program which is under the umbrella of IAA called the Rays of Hope. Rays of Hope aimed at assisting member states in establishing or expanding the capabilities in the RT and in the field of multi-imaging modality. So these are anchor centers, which have shown resilience through decades of experience working with IEA to support their respective region. So what's the role of these anchor centers? They will train fellows, organize training courses, they promote networking, and provide expertise and mentorship in the field of RT and other medical imaging centers within the region. And I'm proud to announce that King Hussein Cancer Center in Jordan and the National Center for Cancer Care and Research, NCCR, are 2 centers within the region that have been nominated as Rays of Hope centers. What are the challenges that we are facing here in medical physics, and especially when it comes to radiotherapy, our medical physics recognition? We're trying to do our best to be recognized as a profession in the region and also globally. There's disparities in political and economical situations when it comes to the region, and this is something that Dr. Mashari highlighted. We have a lack of sufficient education program in medical physics and the sustainability of these medical physics experts so that they don't travel abroad, either go back home or try to seek another opportunity. And last but not least is the lack of funding, and this is something that some centers they're facing. I would say the best is to work together. So we're trying to collaborate together among the Middle Eastern countries. We're trying to collaborate with international organizations to establish an accreditations, adoptions of certification licensing program. This is essential. And we need to promote our education and research programs. I would say working together, we can definitely significantly improve the capacity in medical physics. And definitely will have an ultimate goal of cancer control within the region. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rabih. Can I please ask you kindly to stop sharing your screen, and can I get all 3 presenters to turn on their microphones and cameras? I've got Dr. Mashari and Dr. Hassan. Thank you so much. Thank you for very inspiring presentations on how MIFOM can really play an instrumental role bringing together medical physicists in so many countries with different challenges and different economical status and different maybe cultural environments, social economic environments, and so on. So your projects are truly, truly inspiring. We've got a few questions in the Q&A tab of the Zoom. Dr. Rabih, you touched it a bit. Can I please ask, is there any professional requirement in any of the MIFOM countries by their National Radiation Protection Act that the hospital that operates ionizing radiation apparatus must employ a medical physicist?
Well, I will talk for radiotherapy. And then I will leave the floor for Dr. Mashari and Dr. Hassan to talk about diagnostic and medicine. In radiotherapy, there is a must to have a radiation oncology physicist that's definitely, it's a must, and we have also a job planning, well-defined job planning that will work with HR to have an adequate number of medical physicists within the department, and this is definitely well-defined for us, for sure. So must be a medical physicist in radiation oncology for a radiation oncology department to work.
Okay, thank you. How about imaging and nuclear medicine?
I think
sorry.
For most of the MIFOM countries, it's not required by the regulations to have medical physicists for nuclear medicine, diagnostic radiology, not like radiation therapy. Radiation therapy, yes, definitely it's a must. But for diagnostic radiology and nuclear medicine, there is no regulation to have a medical physicist in the department.
Are you seeing it that should be changed, and are you working with government to address it?
Yes, I think it should be changed, surely.
Dr. Hassan?
Yes, I agree with Dr. Mashari. Most of the countries don't have, some have already requirement for diagnostic radiology. Like Qatar now, even service provider who provide quality control for hospitals, they should employ some medical physicist, at least one, or qualified expert if they do like shielding calculation and consultation. So there is some requirement now in place. However, as Dr. Mashari said, especially in diagnostic radiology, it's really very no strict regulation on hospital to employ medical physicists, and we need to strengthen this issue.
Yeah. There was a question about training. Again, all three of you touched it in your presentations. And yes, it's important to train people locally, but the question is whether you think there should be also funding to allow people to travel overseas and learn from the experiences overseas. How do you find the balance? Whoever wants to start.
I talk, okay.
Yes.
I will start, if you don't mind, Dr. Mashari, Dr. Hassan. I totally agree, Eva. So I think it's not just, and that's what if I noticed that my talk was about the diversity of bringing resources from all over the nation. I have to tell you that I have physicists from South America, from Far East, and this is on purpose to assure that we're bringing people from different cultures, from different background and education. Also, sending people abroad, this is something that definitely we're working on. We are trying to, actually, there's some communications with international institutions to try to receive physicists. I think Dr. Hassan and Dr. Mashari will share on their diagnostic side, because I know some physicists travel to, for example, to Greece and other. So yes, we try to do that, and based on the collaboration with the international institutions. This from my side.
Yes, I agree with Dr. Rabih. The same. I mean, but it depends on the local demands. I mean, some countries, if you provide the basic training, this is what they require. Instead of sending people abroad to very developed advanced practice of medical physics, the training will not be applicable. I mean, they will not be using it in their their institutions. So this is the main point.
And
yeah,
if you don't,
I could. Sorry.
Go ahead, Dr. Hassan.
I could add that MIFOM especially, they supported the ICTB IEA medical physics master, the advanced master in medical physics, and we had 2 people from Qatar already graduated from that system. And in the last few years back, the previous cycles as well, MIFOM sponsored as well. They used to pay some token money, to support the ICTB master degree, because we recognize that's really, it's an answer for a lot of medical physicists especially in the poor country, in the Middle East. And I agree with this. Some people as well, some small country, for example, let's say Bahrain or Qatar, it's unlikely that they will establish a medical physics for their own graduates, because they will graduate a lot of people more than they know enough, unless it's for the regional, let's say, a regional solution. Otherwise, it's better. Yeah.
Universities as the business, they have to have enough students in the courses to have
Yes.
to be viable. So if you don't need that many physicists, I agree that within the region, you might need to have regional courses to support the smaller countries.
Exactly.
If you don't mind, just I would comment why sometimes we try to do local trainings. And this is sometimes what we try to do in different countries. One of the advantage that we're able to deliver it to more physicists. For example, if you want to train someone internationally in an international institution, we'll be able to send 1 or 2 physicists at the most. Versus training locally. This is, for example, will be for more physicists. So the local, for example, in Qatar, will be able to deliver it to at least the local 20. In Iraq, for example, you have many physicists. So they will benefit. So the whole community will benefit, not 1 or 2 physicists.
I agree. To be lucky to get the scholarship to go abroad. Yes. Interesting question. If someone has an undergraduate degree as a radiographer, are they allowed in your countries to retrain as medical physicists in imaging, for example?
Well, I think
imaging, yes, I've seen some cases. Sorry. I've seen some cases where people who are a radiographer, they went to do a master degree in medical physics, and then they did some clinical training. Eventually, they end up doing, a medical physics job in diagnostic radiology, especially. Okay. I don't know about radiotherapy.
But they still have to do at least masters in medical physics.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Per JD, per job description, JD, it is required. Master is required. It doesn't matter the master is required in medical physics in order to have a job in radiation oncology physics. Yes.
Yes, I agree with both. I mean, the minimum requirement is to have master's degree and and the work experience in let's say one of the sub-specialties of medical physics. So yes, I agree with both.
Dr. Rabih, this is a question from Dr. Chedi Bakil, and he's asking, how do you train a cyclotron accelerator staff?
Oh, very good. Wow, cyclotron. Very good. So I would tell Shadi, the example that we have in Qatar. At the moment, Shadi, our cyclotron is run under an outsource. So we're outsourcing. So we're doing it. So we have a contract with our local vendor. I don't want to promote here one, but it's outsourced at the moment, Shadi. So although now we're putting some of the training program for our local staff to be trained under this contract company. So they will train in some of the activities, not the main activities. Till now, cyclotron is under a contractual outsourced entity.
Dr. Hassan?
Sorry, it's special case in our in Qatar because it's outsourced, but in everywhere, they usually you have to have in addition to qualification on the job training in some centers to qualify people to be able to run a cyclotron or to, especially that has a lot of specific tasks from not just operation and radioisotope production, sometimes labeling. It depends if it's the full scope or just to run the cyclotron. So it's on the job training is really a must.
Sorry. I'm sorry. If Shadi is asking about Qatar or in general in cyclotron. Sorry, if he's asking in general.
Maybe general, it doesn't.
In general, then these are radiopharmacists. So because we went through the process of interviewing these staff, so these are radiopharmacists that they should have a background in cyclotron productions, and they're keeping their CMEs and trainings on this. So this we know that just from this outsource, but these are radiopharmacists in background with the cyclotron production background. Yes.
Dr. Mashari, if people are interested in research, how do they find opportunities for research within MIFOM countries? How do they become part of projects? And do you offer any research fellowships within the hospitals?
Well, I think Dr. Hassan covered this, highlighted this point in his talk, that especially during the MIFOM conferences, we give opportunities for any researcher to present his or her work during the conference, and it will open, doors for cooperation. And also during the workshops, many participants, are interested in some topics. They will, contact directly with the expert and the medical, the leaders of the field, and then they can arrange for cooperation. So this is what is in my mind. Dr. Hassan, maybe if you'd like to add something to this point.
Yeah, I could add that, it's a big institution like Hamad Medical Corporation and probably Kuwait Institute for Nuclear Medicine and King Faisal Specialist Hospital. I don't want to name, but there's a lot of, and they receive a lot of training, for example, requests from IEA. So they have a lot of placement where people, they come to learn, not just for training, on the job training, sometimes to do research. So we have one fellow, for example, last year, one fellow from Lebanon, one fellow from Pakistan, where they spent some time and they created some research work, really. And we have some local as well, on bilateral agreement from other country where they come and spend some time, and the focus is on research, and in these countries, especially if GCC like country, which is similar background, it's open, it doesn't cost a lot of money because they travel by car and they can come and spend some time, few months, few weeks, it depends. But it's open, I think, for and all institutions are encouraging research. So it's
Excellent.
open.
Excellent.
To
Good
the extent I could say to everyone, if you're coming through IEA, usually like organization like Hamad Medical Corporation, they don't charge even the agency when they have a trainee coming on a fellowship to our institute.
I will have to finish with one last question. And this is about the mutual recognition of accreditation. So if someone, let's say, gains an accreditation in one of the MIFOM countries, will their accreditation be recognized in another MIFOM country? So can you work anywhere along the MIFOM region?
So this is probably, if you allow me, because all of us are working on this, mutual recognition is important. I think Europe has worked through it for the last 25 years, probably. Mutual recognition is it used to have one group specific to work on this one. What we are doing now, we had some common understanding and meeting between MIFOM and the IEA, where we have a regional workshop covering all the country. And the aim of this is to have some mutual recognition or some common requirement on certification, and that will encourage people to recognize each other's qualifications.
Because you have to have equal standards as well.
Yes, exactly. So this is mutual recognition. Sometimes you need to have similar standard at least. So this is one way where we are really hoping to tap on other resources and try to have other collaboration from IEA, from the Arab Summit, where they have some activity. We have as well the Arab Atomic Agency as well, where they are interested in harmonization and mutual recognition of various qualifications. So I'll leave it as well to Dr. Mashari if you want to add, because he was involved in this discussion.
Yes, I think as you mentioned, Dr. Hassan, mainly cooperation through regional projects and from the IEA, and I think we are also planning for MIFOM certification, accreditation, sorry, for the postgraduate course, training courses, and also for individual certification, as you mentioned in your talk. So yes, I agree. I mean, I have nothing to add, but to agree with your point. And I think it's very important to have a regional accreditation board for the Middle East physicists.
Thank you so much, our MIFOM colleagues. I would like to take the opportunity that we have the president of IOMP, Professor Damilakis, available with us. John, would you like to say any parting words?
A big thank you to you, Eva, to our distinguished speakers, and of course to our audience for contributing to very interesting discussion. Happy International Medical Physics Week to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Everyone, thank you, Dr. Mashari, Dr. Kharita, and Dr. Hammoud.